Welcome to Dynamic Analytical Synthesis. I'm one of your hosts, Pure.
You already know it's ID. We back at it.
It's Ja East.
Hey, I'm the guest of the week, Chloe Hilliard.
Special guest, Chloe Hilliard in the building. It's her second episode with us, man. Go back and check out that episode of Who is Chloe Hilliard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to get into today is we're going to talk about discipline, man. And we're talking about discipline between the parents from back in the days in the 80s versus parents now in 2018.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Is it?
Yeah, because parents is putting them ass whoopings on social media. It's going to haunt you forever. You could be doing a job interview 20 years from now. They pull your shit up and you like, why are you getting this fucked up haircut? What did you do at 8 years old that your mama sent you to the barbershop and shaved your middle like an old man?
That sounds like
"Damn."
an ACS case.
Yeah, right. I think that we really need to redefine discipline because I think most discipline really should fall under parenting. Like if you're a parent, you're going to instill rules and regulations and a thought process in your kid. And I feel like, you know, whenever I see a parent be like, I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm like, oh, I don't win. That doesn't win. It doesn't have the effect that you want it to have. It just teaches your kid to be more prepared for that, and they just build up a tolerance for it. And I read an article recently that said that screaming in the household causes PTSD and anxiety. And I'm thankful I did not grow up in a yelling household. My family didn't yell. We were kind of a quiet family. But when you go to people and they just screaming all, where's this? And now shut up. Blah, blah, blah. And it does something to you psychologically that shows, impact as you become an adult. So I think we need to re-examine how we parent, in this idea of like wanting to like beat a kid down. I think you got to re-examine it. I might be in a minority in that thought process.
I think that when it comes to discipline,
Yeah.
children receive discipline differently. Like even though you might, like you could have a house of children, there's 3 kids or whatever it is, and you discipline them all the same way.
Yeah.
And they might all not turn out the same way at the end. You know what I mean? I grew up in a household where I got disciplined. I got physically disciplined plenty of times. I came from a Jamaican household. So I got disciplined not only in the home. When I was in Jamaica in the West Indies, when I went to school then, if we did something wrong in school, our teachers would discipline us physically. So it's like that was a natural thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though I got physically disciplined, nothing crazy where anything life-threatening, but I was able to still make it out of that because I told myself that, okay, this is what's going on. I need to get out of that household because I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They pushed me to do more so I can get out of that household.
But don't you feel like a household should be a loving environment? Like you shouldn't be forced to leave because you're being physically, beaten.
Right. And that I'm not saying it's right. You know what I mean? Because it was really my stepfather that was the more aggressive. My mother, everything was different with my mother.
Yeah.
It was my stepfather. So I always told myself, like, I can't live like this. I need to get out. So that kind of pushed me to do more.
Yeah.
And get out of it. But, I had a little brother. He didn't take the same push. He was defiant, ran away, and did all types of shit. Now his shit is like different. Like his life is one way, my life is another way, and we all disciplined under the same household.
Yeah.
So discipline affects people differently. That's how I really.
No, I agree.
That's what
I
see.
believe that. I do, but I do think that I have a friend who I went to college with. Her name is Dr. Stacy Patton, Patton, and she has a book that she released last year about no spanking. She has zero tolerance for spanking. She thinks that you should not beat a kid under any circumstances. And so she had a book reading in Harlem, and it was out of school, and there was parents there, and some people was like, well, it worked for me, and this and that. And she says, you got to understand the context of in the Black community, when we think about beating our child, it comes from the days of enslavement and beating your child into submission. And so you beat your child because you didn't want the master to beat your child because you knew it would be worse. So, but it still was a bad beating because you couldn't go light on them because then y'all both would get beat. So I think psychologically, there's a lot of in our community of falling in line and obeying a rule, and instead of having like a conversation about it. Because I didn't get beat that much. I mean, I can count on 2 hands how many times I got a spanking, and I'm very grateful that my parents who were beat did not beat me and my brother. Like, we got spanked, we got popped, we got hit, but we got disciplined. And the things that lasted with me more than those spankings, which I deserve, because I was a kid. Like, if I knew I did something bad and I knew a spanking was coming, I'm gonna do more bad shit just to get it all in one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like crazy bad shit, but like, you know, get it all out, because I was like, I'm gonna get a spanking, so I might as well eat this cookie I'm not supposed to eat. I might as well watch the show I'm not supposed to watch.
Right.
And I'll just get one spanking. I was just, you know, being a businesswoman.
I told you, yo.
So I think, you know, when I think back though, my parents made a conscious effort as parents, both of them, because they really got, you know, typically beat as you did for their generation. And they were like, we're not going to do that to our kids. We're going to discipline them, but we're not going to beat them into submission. You know, we're not going to get no extension cord and no shoe and no belt and no switch. You know, so they made they made that decision as parents, and I'm grateful that they did. But when I think back on how I was disciplined, the things that lasted with me more than those spankings was when my parents were like, you disappointed me. And to me, it's like, oh, damn, I disappointed my parents. That hurt way more than any spanking, because it's like I never wanted to disappoint my parents, and I think that they instilled in me the value of being responsible for your actions. Because I feel like if you beat a kid, you're not addressing the being responsible for your actions thing. You just beating a kid because they upset you. You're not teaching them the lesson. And I think a lot of times parents beat, but they don't have the conversation. It's like when I see a parent yelling at their kid in the street, like say if a kid ran into the street and the mother yanks him up and is like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass when you get home, instead of being like, it's dangerous to run in the street.
Yeah, they have no merit. Like, nobody won.
So nobody knows. So the kid don't know why you mad at them, but you're mad because really you're afraid that your kid was gonna get hit by a car. So instead of saying to your child, you scared me, I love you, I don't want you getting hit by a car, don't run in the street, you're saying I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. And the kid learned no lesson, which is interesting, because then when you see like white people talking to their kids in the street, black people like, why the fuck they talking to that kid so much? I would not be talking to no kid. You don't need a whole conversation. You ain't got to explain yourself to no kid.
Because the kid ain't listening. That's why. Because that's the difference. They're saying all that stuff and the kid is not paying them no mind.
No mind. But some of it, I think a little of it seeps in. But, you know, I think you got to find a happy medium. It's like you don't want to talk your kid to death, but you also want to explain your emotion and your intent behind your action, instead of just being like, I'm going to kick your ass when we get home.
Well, I definitely, being an educated person, I understand the logic of what you're saying. But now I gotta go into reality.
Okay.
Right. Some people, unfortunately, and this is, I don't even want to. Let's take away the slave days.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even though we can't take it away, let's take it away for a second. Violence is a universal language.
Yes.
Right. Let's even take it beyond parenting. Let's go into doing certain things in the world where, if you don't get it right, violence is gonna be will become of you. You're more likely to do the right thing because you don't want that violence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, for example, some parents, as you said, they didn't grow up knowing how to communicate.
Yeah.
Verbally. That's all they know is violence. So when you coming from a violent background, you know, that, like you just said, I beat your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? It's a mentality. You said, that's a slave mentality?
Yeah.
You
beating your ass because, you know what I mean, when you are, you know, the slaves had to fall in line because they know Nasa was discipline.
I know, and that, once again, logically, that makes sense. But I disagree. I agree. Education, logically, I agree.
Yeah.
But as far as like everyday life, I do disagree, because at the same time, you could talk to somebody till you're blue in the face. I don't agree with hitting anybody, first and foremost. But sometimes some people respond to action.
But you got to ask yourself, why do they respond to that action? And it has to do with the environment in which they was raised in. You know, so, you know, when I hear stories of people being like, yeah, my mother yelled at me and she beat me, blah, 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 but she never told me she loved me and I never got a hug. That's the environment.
Okay.
So that means your brain has been wired. Like people don't understand like the chemical and the physical effects of yelling, of abuse. Like your body rewires itself. Like when you beat a child, their brain is mentally rewired to cope with that, and they come up with a mechanism to deal with that abuse.
Okay.
So it's the same way when a kid is like sexually abused, they say, you know, mentally I just put myself in another place. It's the same mental effect of being abused, and so you build up a tolerance for it, and so you're not associating a lesson with that being, you're just taking that violence for what it is, and you either internalizing it or you're going to take it out on somebody else. So I think instead of saying like, instead of living in a place of fear and of like, okay, this is a consequence. If I don't do this, I'm going to get punched in the face. You should be like, I'm doing this because this is the right thing to do. Like, I'm going to wash the dishes because I should wash the dishes. Yeah. I'm not going to wash the dishes because I don't want to get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then you got to say, okay, if you're talking about washing the dishes, why should you wash the dishes? You should take pride in washing the dishes because one, your parents took the pride to go to work and make the food and cook it so you have something to eat. So this is my way of repaying my parents as a thank you because they provided food for us. So I'm going to wash the dishes because I know they had a long day. So this is an act of love. Instead of being like an act of, well, fuck, I got to do it because they about to come at my neck. So you got to talk about the root of things. Like, I feel like if you come from a place of love and positivity and showing yourself or showing how much you appreciate somebody, it shouldn't be, I'm doing this because I know my mother's coming home in 5 minutes and she's going to whip my behind because I didn't wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but she might not whip your ass, or you might be on punishment, right? Because some forms of discipline aren't violent. They just put restrictions on you, right?
I get it. Yeah, absolutely. And I think restrictions work. I think people respond more to restrictions. But I do think that your intent to do things should come from a loving and helpful place instead of a place of fear. And I think a lot of times we put fear in kids' hearts. And when you think about it, when you talk about discipline, and especially in the Black community, when kids have built up a tolerance for discipline from their parents, whether it's yelling or berating or beating, and then you put them out in the street and they get confronted with a person of authority, they've already built up a tolerance where they become immune to that authority. And that's when they get arrested and shot and killed by cops. That's when they have problems with the teachers because they're like, I ain't got to listen to you, because they've already built up a tolerance for the talking.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, what's the worst? My mother beat my ass every day. I don't give a fuck about you, cop. So what? And so it's a cycle that people don't realize that we're perpetuating because you're teaching your kids to become so immune to authority instead of respecting or hearing it because it's all noise. It's all the same.
But it's a fine line at the same time too, because if you don't be stern and instill that kind of discipline sometimes, or let them know what's going on, then when certain things actually happen, they're not going to know how to handle it.
Absolutely. I think there should be consequences for your actions. I don't think everything is a punch in the face. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you take something from a kid, like, okay, you're not doing good in school, I'm taking your game system for X amount of time until I see improvement. Oh, you still not improving? I'm taking your phone. Oh, you still not improving? I'm taking your Jordans. Oh, you still not improving? You're not getting a haircut.
But certain times, all that sounds simple. You think that they would just turn it around because they want those things, but they just might not. That's why it gets to the next level. Yeah, because parents will start off doing those things, and then it still won't work. Yeah. So that's when they start getting a little bit more
speaking
aggressive.
from experience, like, I have two kids.
How old are they?
11 and 3. So I noticed that when my daughter was smaller, she's 11 years old now. You could. You don't have to hit her. You just got to lead by example, and you can put the fear in her just by raising your voice. But now she's getting a little bigger, and like you said, she'll conform to your rules just to get something, and then that's it. She got it. Now she gone. She back on her same path. So a lot of it, you just got to, as a parent, you got to lead by example too. You can't be doing things they see it's wrong. They know it's wrong too, and you just can't keep doing it. You gotta curb yourself. That's a lot of it. It's dealing with you too. Most discipline it starts with you when it comes to them kids. They gonna look at you like, well, look, are you believable or not?
Well, yeah, it's like you can't tell your kid not to lie, and they see you on the phone talking about, well, I'm 5 minutes away, but you still in bed. You lying in front of your kid.
But then I gotta go back to this. I gotta be difficult because, once again, some things when you're dealing with your kid, you can't talk it out. It's like if your kid like you said, I might get a lecture, but then you might say, you know what, I'm just gonna smack the shit out of you. Period. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? After I smack the shit out of you, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you again. You know what I mean? You're more conscious to like, damn, I don't want to do that because one is wrong, and you know the type of parent you have. I'm just not running around here hitting people. But I work with kids. Yeah. Some kids need the shit smacked out of them.
But you gotta ask yourself why. But you gotta ask yourself why.
Because they don't have no respect They don't have no discipline.
But whose
They
fault
don't
is
have
that?
no. Hold on. They don't have no
parents.
home training. Right. So I'm not saying you should, but I've been around some, woo.
I know, but
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's the parents' fault.
That's the parent. But okay, so let's say they don't have no parents. That's the guardian, right?
That's the guardian's
Right
fault.
now,
It's the environment in which
it is-
they're raised.
It is the environment, but then once again, let's say I don't have a phone, right?
Yeah.
The person I live with can't get me a phone. The person I live with can't get me a haircut anyway. The person I live with, they can't take shit away from me that they can't even buy me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But what they can do is put a foot in my ass. You understand?
But does it work?
It depends. Some people it does work because once again, everybody is not receptive to language, right? Because I see people calm down and try to, eye level with the kid. But to me, I don't never think an adult should be eye level with a kid. That's just me. I'm not saying an adult should be an authoritarian either.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you gotta let a kid know, you child, I'm the adult. You listen.
Yeah.
Because it's a chain of command. There's rules in life. There's discipline in life. Because it goes back to you said with fear. Why do certain kids bully kids? Fear.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That shit is like goes around. Even at your job, you might have your boss may talk to you a certain way. That tone is different. It's discipline.
Yeah. But
Right?
it's also, most bully kids are bullied themselves. So most bully kids come from an environment where their parents are probably talking down to them or treating them bad or
Right.
physically abusing them. So this is the only way that they can have an outlet is to be on somebody else, to beat up on somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think, you deal with kids, so you know better than me because you deal with them. But a lot of times, don't you feel like you get the best result when you just have a conversation with a kid?
I think you get the best result when you have a conversation with a kid that's willing to have a conversation with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a fact. Because sometimes you could be talking to a kid, have a long conversation with him for like half an hour,
Go
a
in.
whole hour,
Yeah.
go in, and you
Internet.
think that everything is good. The next day he'll be that same
Same-
person
Yeah.
he was before the conversation.
I got a prime example. Remember The Wire?
Yes.
So shout out to Michael B. Jordan, Black Panther. It was season 1 when he had his little brothers. They was all living in the house, whatever, in the old apartment, and little man messed up in math class. So he gave him an example, selling crack, and he broke down everything he needed. He told me how much. He said, "How come you can't get the school right, but you get the count right?" He said, "Because if that count ain't right, they bust your head." He was a kid, 6, 7 years old. I don't want to get my head bust because this head bust ain't gonna come from you. It's gonna come from this nigga I don't know over here.
Yeah.
So this count gotta be right. Fuck school. This shit don't gotta be right. They ain't gonna do that. Well, they gonna leave me back. You understand what I'm saying? So right there, that discipline. Once again, he was being raised by his brother,
Yeah.
older brother. His brother wasn't hitting him, but he knew out here. This is the rules. So what I'm saying is some kids come from that environment that I'm dealing with, that or teachers are dealing with, whereas they know you get hit in his head. You understand what I'm saying? So all that talking, it's like, man, okay.
Yeah, but that's not the right environment. You know that.
No.
You can't have them thinking that.
No.
They can learn. You gotta teach them on some drug shit.
No. That was just the example was the consequence of not.
Being prepared.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I feel like there are a lot, man. You'd be surprised. A lot of kids, adults too, but they don't have common sense. They don't.
Yeah.
But
also
they can learn from that shit, and they know that
Oh,
nobody putting their hands on
this-
me. Let me try to get this right.
This is what. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
all about effort. So everybody has the effort. It's just about how much effort you're willing to put in, because obviously he knew what he was doing.
That was my point.
You didn't have to put your hands on him.
Yeah.
They had to just apply himself. They made him apply himself
Yeah.
more. That he knew that there's a consequence behind him fucking up.
Yeah.
That's all.
But also, I think the reason why the stakes are so high is because the things that the kids should care about missing out on, they don't care about missing out on. So in the case with that, the analogy you did with The Wire is like, okay, this is a young kid in a drug game. He knows the consequences. For him, the drug game is a good thing. It's a good draw. It's a good thing for he wants to be a part of that because that's what the options are in his environment right now. But when you tell a kid, listen, if you don't do well in school and you start failing, you're not going to go to college. To them, that's already an unobtainable, unrealistic thing. So they're not going to care about not getting good grades. Versus if you say if you're not going to get good grades, you're not going to get 100,000 followers on social media. They're like, let me get you. I want you know what I'm saying? So it's like
now that's a good one.
The value of the prize is different, and things that used to strike fear in us really doesn't apply, because you telling a kid to go to college who's like, nobody I know went to college, nobody I know can afford college, I don't give a damn about college, I don't need college, so
right.
I don't care if I fell out of school.
Right.
It doesn't matter. All of my heroes didn't go to school.
Right.
Which is a bigger problem that we got to address, because it's like, well, what is valuable now? What do kids value today? I don't know. You around, what do they like?
Oh, they like what you just said. 100,000 followers on social media.
And whoever they see in their neighborhood that's popping.
Yeah.
It could be the local drug dealer. They see what he's doing when he's driving. I want to do whatever he's doing.
Or not even
he
drug
doesn't have
dealer.
any college degree.
Cardi B.
No, not even that. It was what you said in the last episode. To win the skirt.
Yeah.
Might be him.
And he's popping. He has 300,000.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't even got to be like, it'd be easy for us to say the local drug or this, that. Nah, it's beyond that.
Yeah,
because it's
they following other shit.
It's like you said, it's the Jaden Smiths. It's the blonde hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's coming to school with this dress. And ain't nobody going to say nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is
I know.
what's going on.
That's crazy.
Discipline.
Your daughter's 11. What is she? Who does she look up to? What does she like?
See, like he said, it'll be the person, not necessarily the person with the dress, but it'll be the person that's popular. And she don't see me as popular, of course not, because she don't see you. Like, she don't see when you go to work and come home. She just think, oh, well, he just get money. Like, she don't see that part, But these kids nowadays, I just think that they feel like somebody's gonna really hand it to them, like, or the parents is always gonna be here for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
and that's not really a good thing, because that's not a fact. The only thing that's promised to us is death. So, with that discipline, we have to discipline our kids. I don't know if I'm not violent, so. And plus, I have girls, so I can't hit them. Like, I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they do try you. They do test you. But my thing that I've been having success with is just leading by example and trying to be a man of my word. That's basically what I have success with, so I stick to that.
Yeah.
Now watch this one. I'm gonna go left, right? Who in your neighborhood, just period, in life, right? Why wouldn't you deal with certain people? Like, why would somebody tell you, yo, don't mess with son over there?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a consequence of messing with that person.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
They bring you into that world, and then you don't want to be associated with them. And
so, which is discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Some people learn the hard way, because once again, if you know it's a consequence for messing with that person in a bad way, chances are you ain't gonna mess with that person. Definitely. That's not something you gotta open no book for.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's white, black, Asian, Latino. That's a universal.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, if you know as a kid, don't mess with Shaquan in 6307, you need to know when I come home, you better do your dishes. I need the same respect Shaquan get. Like, I'm just saying, like, that, and this is to me where the discipline part is. Definitely. Like, you can't know who Shaquan is, but then my dishes ain't done, and I done paid for this food. Mm-hmm. Because I get what you're saying with like I said, logically, we can instill fear and all that, this, that, and the third. But my thing is the discipline and respect. You got to give me that respect. You giving home and you don't know. And not saying that the kid is fearful.
Yeah,
just in
that's
general.
True. But then you can't have a kid respect you when you don't respect them. And I think the old school mentality of being like, I'm the parent, I shouldn't have to. You should listen to me. Just no questions asked is obsolete. You know what I mean? So you can't have a parent. Bro, I see parents out in the street berating their kid.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't like
calling
that.
them all types of N's and B's and all of this stuff, and just for no reason, just really spiteful and nasty. And then you want to turn around and wonder why they don't listen to you, because they don't respect you, because you don't respect them. And I think we got to get out of this mentality like, oh, well, you shouldn't have to respect the kid. No, it's still a person is a person.
That's
like,
right.
You
That's
have
right.
feelings. Your memories go back to what, 3-4 years old. You remember how you were treated. You remember how
Absolutely.
people loved you and how
Definitely.
they didn't like you. So you can't say that a kid is just like this object that you're supposed to possess and own, and it's supposed to do whatever the hell you want it to do, and you don't have to treat it with respect and kindness.
It's not reality.
It's not reality. And then you end up having, kids who hate their moms, and then that perpetuates itself in relationships and employment, and you don't listen. You don't want no bitches telling you what to do, and it just turns into this whole never-ending story. And then they have kids and they do the same
Cycle.
exact
It's a
thing.
cycle.
It's a cycle.
But also, once again, though, you do that part definitely, but you still there has to be a disciplined part, meaning like you still gotta respect. I'm gonna respect you, no
Yeah.
question. I'm gonna respect you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna do everything, but at the same time, you get my word is law. If you my child, my word is
There's
law.
consequence. I think there's consequences for your actions.
And if it ain't God, you don't respect nobody more than me. You understand? And that's what I see in the world, period.
Yeah.
Even adults, like another man can't tell me that he fear another man. I gotta look at you like you crazy, because that means there's something going on over there that you fear. And I wasn't taught fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry guys, even if I may have said, hey man, you got it. Ain't no fear over here. You understand what I'm saying? Guess
No
again.
doubt.
And I'm not promoting that
You
tough
just was
guy.
trying to get through your day. You was like, I ain't got time for this
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
it. But we're not promoting tough guys. But I'm sorry, I wasn't raised like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not a bully. I'm not into that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of the discipline part at home, to me, I see it. How you gonna let somebody go in your pockets that's your age or 2 years older than you, but you gonna disrespect your mother?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, that's not confusion. That's stupidity.
But that's the lesson that the parent has to put. The lesson is, don't let nobody go in your pocket.
Right.
And this is why. This is why you don't let them go in your pocket.
But hold on.
Because if you let them do that, then no one's going to respect you.
You see how you said that? Then you got, you might have a parent. Shout out to my pops, rest in peace. I'm gonna show you why they ain't going in your pocket. You see the difference?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, you ain't going. You crazy?
You gotta tell them how to stop them from going in your
You
pocket.
understand what I'm saying?
You can't just tell them that. You can't just tell them don't let them go in your pocket. You gotta tell them what happens if somebody does go in your pocket.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
What-
So
This is what you're supposed to do.
what I'm saying is,
Cause and
and that's why I feel,
Yeah.
and like listen, man, my parents disciplined me, but I didn't get beat and all that. My parents loved me. They showed me everything you said, love and affection. But hold on, time out. Don't nobody get more respect than me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm never gonna disrespect my moms. I could disagree with her. I ain't gonna disrespect her.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me, period. But then I get disrespectful to somebody who brought me into this world.
course.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's something I was taught.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
But the thing, the key, you say you were taught that because your parents had the wherewithal to put you into the mindset of these are the parameters in which this house is run.
Right.
But if you, like you said, if you have a kid who doesn't have that,
Right.
who doesn't have that parent, who doesn't have that guardian,
Right.
then they operate on a whole different set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to tell them that the way they was raised is not the correct way?
Right.
They're not going to find it out until it's too late, till they're in front of a judge or somebody's,
Right.
fighting them in the street, and it's too late.
No, I get what you're saying. I like I said, once again, logically, I think everything you said was on point. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be a two-way street. Like some kids got to be willing to listen. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. And
I think there's discipline. I think there's a big difference between discipline and beating and breaking the spirit of a child.
I love it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Say that again. Hold on, one more time. Chloe Hilliard.
There's difference between discipline and beating and breaking the spirit of a child.
Oh man,
You don't want to kill the spirit of a kid.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we gonna wrap it up. Yo, fellas, y'all got anything to add to that?
I think she summed it up.
She pretty much summed it up.
Yo, Chloe
Yes,
Hilliard, the
Thank
legend.
you.
Listen, man. If you don't know, now you know the legend.
Yes.
Chloe Hilliard is here with us.
That's right. Follow
talking
me.
That's right.
Twitter and Instagram is Chloe_Hilliard. You can go to ChloeHilliard.com, ChloeHilliard to find out more about me. And I have a podcast called Social Misfit, and hopefully I have you guys on it.
Oh man,
We would
listen,
love
man.
that.
Immediately.
Listen,
ASAP.
man. We would love to come on your show, Chloe.
Thank you.
Definitely. One love to everybody out there, the whole New York City, Brooklyn, USA, worldwide. We out. The synthesis,
peace,
dynamic
peace,
analytical
peace,
synthesis.
peace,
I'm
peace.
pure.
One love. Illa.
Ja East.
We out.